Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Courtney. I'm a stay-at-home mom, wife, and soon to be published author. I thought today we could do a quick chat about goals and goal planning and how that is working out for me. So, I think in the beginning of the year I posted, or I know that I posted, I don't remember exactly. Let me move my coffee. I know that I posted them, I just don't remember when. But I posted 2 videos about my goals for the year and how I planned on kind of tracking them and figuring out what they were and all of that stuff. So, I'm trying to think of how I want this to flow. So what I did, and I will have those videos linked in the description box if you want to check them out. But essentially what I did was let's start with this one. I am using this as like my archive for the year, although I'm a little bit behind in updating it. But what I ended up doing was kind of creating a vision board for kind of what I wanted the year to look like or to feel like, and put it in this planner. I included my word of the year because I really feel like the word that I chose this year is kind of driving my goals, if that makes sense. And then I went through, they do have some like goal setting pages in here. So I went through and set those up. And then you have your 1-year goals and then your 3-month goals, which was Q1. And I really do, or did like how all of this turned out. In addition to that, in my A5 rings, I had set up my goal planning inserts, which was kind of a review of last year. It kind of walks you through what your ideal year looks like, and you kind of break it down bit by bit. So you start with the big picture for the year, and then you break it down into kind of quarterly, monthly, all of that stuff. And I really did like how this has you do the prep work. And then you also get these inserts that help you break things down by quarter and kind of develop an action plan for the quarter, and then you break it down month by month. I was also using these pages from Sarah Cannon. What is her shop called? Oh, Heart Breathings. So she is an indie author, and she has like a planning course. I cannot remember what it's called right now, but she also sells her planner in her Etsy shop. So basically you break down like your entire schedule into time blocks, and then assign those blocks to specific tasks or habits that contribute to you reaching like whatever goals you have set. So I was using those as well. And you also do an evaluation at the end of the quarter. Lots of goal planning systems have this sort of wheel of life with your various categories that your goals might fall into. And I am not saying that this didn't work for me, because it did. But I had two issues with using this. Number one is the further that I get along in the year and planning and figuring out how I'm using my planners this year, the more I realize that, and I think this might happen every year, I kind of start out with a few different things that I think may work, and then as the year goes on, I realize that I would prefer to have fewer things to have to manage, especially right now because I just have a lot going on. So the fact that this was another thing that I needed to check did not really help in me using it. I think one of the reasons that I wanted to have it set up like this is because I absolutely love this planner. This is an A5 Moterm Veg Tan in Chestnut, and I love this planner so much. But despite my love of the binder, using it to plan my goals was not, it wasn't really working the way that I had intended, because I did not find myself reaching for this every week like I really needed to in order to keep on top of the things that I am trying to do. So I kind of put that off to the side, and then I signed up or I bought the goal setting inserts from Productive Lab Co. And I don't know, I know the inserts are still on her website. But at the time that I bought them, she was kind of testing out like a productivity accountability group. And so in addition to getting the inserts, we also had a Zoom call every Saturday to meet with other people in the group to just sort of be accountable for our goals, to discuss maybe strategies, things that we had learned that maybe were helpful to the others in the group. And I actually did find that very, very helpful. And the other thing that was super helpful was that the the inserts were personal sized, right? So, I kind of played with the printing of them so that they would come out closer to Franklin Covey compact size, which is what I use in my planner. But having them in my ring planner really made a difference in me just remembering what I was supposed to be doing. I have said before that I am really like an out of sight, out of mind kind of person. I don't know if that is part of like my ADHD or if it's just part of my personality. But if it's not in my face, then it just doesn't exist. So having them in my planner was a bit of like a light bulb moment for me. Just because it meant that I did not have to go grab another planner and figure out what I needed to do. So, and those were 12-week inserts. And so what I did after that was start setting up my goals in here using some inserts from Peanuts Planner Co. So this is a week on one page where I wrote down what my overall goals for the month were, and then I started using these task management worksheets to break them down by category and have my action steps for the week. Super helpful, right? I found myself doing more of what I was supposed to be doing because I could just flip to this section and add it to either my weeklies or add it in for something that I needed to do on a specific day. It also really helped me in terms of time blocking, which is what I do in my weekly, so that I would know these are the things that I want to get done this week, how much time how much time do I need to devote to any of these things. So that has been really, really helpful for me. But I also felt, as I'm getting towards the end of April and in the next day or so, doing a review of what my April goals were, how much of them I actually accomplished, and what do I want to do in May. One of the things that I realized is that a lot of the goals that are kind of traditionally in these sorts of goal planning things, let me see, do they have one in here? So yeah, they have like health and fitness, business and career, finance, personal development, relationships and romance, family and friends, fun and recreation, and spiritual. Not all of I felt like a lot of those did not really fit into my life or the way that I think about my life, the way that I think about goals and kind of what I want to accomplish. So I took some time to sit down and really like brainstorm, okay, if these kind of traditional areas of life don't really fit me, or I can't fit everything that I'm trying to do into those predetermined boxes, what exactly, like how would I describe my areas of life? I hope this is making sense. So anyway, I took some time, a couple of days to really think about it and start brainstorming different ideas about how I would categorize my life in terms of what I want to do. So these are my new like areas of life that I came up with that I think would be much more helpful for me in terms of goal setting. So the first one is creative studio, and that encompasses all of the things that I am doing creatively in terms of like having a creative business. So it is all writing, content creation, and author business stuff, publishing content for all of my YouTube channels, both of my blogs, newsletters, branding, all of that kind of stuff. The next category is heart and home, which is marriage, motherhood, and homemaking. That would be any kind of like family activities, things that I do with my husband in terms of strengthening our marriage and relationship, and making sure that we are like checking in and just kind of growing together in our relationship. It also includes friendships, staying connected to my friends, any home projects, home decorating, being more involved in our community. The third category is restoration, which is sort of all health, wellness, and like spirituality. So that's like mental and physical health, mind and mood, movements, and just really focusing on speaking kindness into myself. I know as a parent and a partner, a lot of times I am intentional about speaking kindness and speaking love into the people that I care about, but I don't often do that for myself. So that is definitely something that I want to focus on. The next category is glow, and that is sort of all of me developing like my personal style, any hobbies, so like evolving personal style, hobbies, beauty rituals, personal growth, and really just embracing joyful living. And then my next category is curating inspiration. So that is curiosity and creativity. So that would be any sort of anything that I do in terms of creative education, skill building, tech tools, workshops, courses, anything that helps me kind of evolve my creative businesses. And then flourish is really just like finances, second act big dreams, which would be like retirement, budget and spending, business income goals. Yeah, just like that is the place where I dump like all of my wildest dreams sort of thing. It was take another Peanuts Planner Co. insert, and I believe this is a fold out monthly. I will try to link all of the inserts that I am using for this down below. If there is one specifically that you don't see that you want to know, just comment, and I will give you the link or let you know the number. But so what I did was I ended up kind of creating this goal plan for myself. I have covered up some of it just because I'm not super comfortable sharing some of the things just yet, and then some of that, like the financial stuff, has like numbers in it. But anyway, so I used the categories that I mapped out for myself over here to kind of break it down into monthly, quarterly, 1 year, 5 year, and like dream big goals, so that I would have a new place to start going forward. So I have for, let's just take Creative Studio. So my 5-year goal is to have a backlist of 12 to 15 books, including 2 thriller or mysteries. And I would also like to publish like a lifestyle book. My 1-year goal is to publish the 3 books that I am currently working on in my series, and to make an income from YouTube and my blog, and to grow all of my social media platforms by about 25%. The quarterly goal is to finish the draft that I was working on to prep HH1, which is the name of the book, to publish it, to rebrand my blog, to launch my new YouTube channel, and just to grow all of the platforms that I am currently active on. And then monthly, I have content for a new channel. I needed a publishing timeline. I wanted to post regularly on my blog and YouTube channels, and to update my social media calendar. What I ended up doing was printing this page specifically one-sided, so that I could just swap them out, because my goals for the quarter obviously will change, and the things that I do monthly to reach that goal will obviously change. So this just makes it easier to update for me. I have another one printed out. I don't know, I don't know why I didn't do the monthly for May, since we're like on the tail end of April. But I didn't. So I have more of these printed out. So I am just going to rewrite my second quarter goals, and then update my monthly goals for May. And then I break the monthly goals into my weekly action steps here, so that I can move these into my daily pages as needed. So that is that. The other thing that I did was to just have a few of my main goals for the quarter broken down by month. This is also the Peanuts Planner Co. This is the dated yearly bundle, I believe. So for the second quarter, these are like the major goals broken down month by month. I'm sorry, I have like a hiccup. And then these are from, I don't know where these are from, Planner Room Shop maybe? Monthly Joy. So these are just kind of quarterly goal inserts. And I know that a lot of this is repetitive, but for me, the more times that I write it, the more times that I break it down, the more I absorb that information. So while it may not be for everyone, it is working for me. So this is really where I am focusing on my 2 major goals that require more of my time, which is writing and publishing, and currently my YouTube and blog stuff. So I have one of these for both of those goals. So this one would be quarter 2 for writing and publishing, and then this side is quarter 3 for writing and publishing. This is quarter 2 for Creative Studio, and then on the back will be quarter 3 for that. I did brain dump some of the tasks that I needed to do for Q2, so that I could move some of these into like my monthly task list. I have done some of these, but I took this original list out of my A5, so I haven't like checked them off yet. I am also using this insert from the yearly dated bundle from Peanuts Planner Co. just to track my wins. If I like finish a project, complete a goal, I I want to have a place where I can mark that down to kind of keep myself motivated. And then I am using this yearly tracker as sort of a calendar slash action plan. What I am doing is marking off days that I know that I don't have available in May to really do any sort of work. That like this first week in May, my daughter is going out of town, so my husband is going on a camping trip, and I am keeping my grandson, which means it will just be me, my 2-year-old grandson, my 11-year-old son, and the dog. And I likely will not have any time to devote to doing anything other than taking care of them. Because if I have any free time, I'm sure that I will be resting, because chasing after a 2-year-old when you're 51 is a little bit exhausting. This is Mother's Day, so I likely won't be doing any work that day. These 2 days I am volunteering at my son's school, so I likely won't be available to do much. And then this day is my son's last day of school, and I am having like a little brunch for some of my mom friends to kind of celebrate that. So that is how I am using that. When I get into the month, I also plan on writing in. I'm specifically using this more for my writing. So I think what I'm going to do is write in sort of what I think I need to do for my book on these days that I have free. And then I am using this, another Peanuts Planner Co. insert, for managing the month. So here, and I just set this up so I don't have it all filled out, but here I am tracking the work that I am doing. So I want to track when I'm filming, what days I'm writing, what days I am like doing edits to writing, and that is for my blog, not like my book writing. What days I am batching content, what days I'm editing videos, what days I am like making content for social media, and then what days I'm sort of doing admin for all of these things. And then this is just a little kind of what I want to focus on for the month. You have a monthly calendar here, so I really just want to put the priorities for the week over here. And then also if I have any deadlines, I will likely like mark them on here. I don't currently. And then down here, I can show you a blank one. So this is what it looks like, blank, not filled in. But down here, I created a little kind of progress bar so that I can track how much progress I've made towards my goals. So I have May in here, and then yeah, and then I already showed you this where I have my weekly action steps, and I am breaking down all of my tasks for the week. I have not, well, I've started to figure them out for this week. I'm actually filming this video on Monday, so after I finish filming, I will probably spend a half hour or so kind of mapping out the rest of the things that I need to do. But I did write down my priorities for each of these during the week. So for writing, my priority is to get the revisions finished to the draft. For my blog, I need to finish prepping content. I have a few kind of half-written blog posts, and I have some photos that I need to edit for those. For YouTube, I really need to batch content because I won't have time. I don't think that I will have time this weekend to do anything with my grandson here. The first video for my new channel goes up this week. So there's that. I don't have a ton to do in business administration. I do need to update my expenses and kind of track some things for that. For social media, I need to create some content and schedule it. And then for like personal, I just want to create time for doing any of the things that I want to do for my personal, like read. I have not been reading a lot, and I really need to get back on track with my reading. I need to get back on track with my workouts. I need to update my archive, like that sort of stuff that I've just been not really making a priority in my life. And I want to do that this week as we're kind of going into May. So, and then I have a place to review my goals at the end of April. So for next month, I will be using my new goal categories for this, but since I had already set up everything for April, I did not want to like redo it or rewrite it or anything like that. So that is how I'm going to, oh, and then I also did, which I haven't finished, but I wanted to map out a goal planning routine. So I have yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily, where I am just kind of brainstorming things that I need to do or I feel like would be helpful in terms of goal setting. And I sort of stopped at monthly. I wanted to take a little bit more time to think about it, and then I will continue. I will likely make this into a graphic on Canva just so that it's pretty, but for right now this is fine for getting all of my thoughts out. So that is what I am doing in terms of goal planning. We are going to try it for May and see if it is more helpful. May is kind of crunch time for me. I really am prepping to get the book published. It is the end of the school year, so my son will be out of school, and then my daughter's baby, our grandson, is due at the beginning of June. So we are planning a trip to Hawaii, and I think we're still kind of working out the details, but she is due June 5th, which would have been my father's 95th birthday. So we're all crossing our fingers that the baby comes on Pawpaw's birthday. But I am planning to go at the end of May so that I can be there for the birth and the delivery and all of that. And then I think my husband and our son are going to come like after the baby is born. But we're still kind of figuring out the plan for that. So I may be gone like the last few days of May. I'm not exactly sure yet. So I really need to figure out how much I can get done in May before that last week, since it is sort of up in the air. Obviously, the baby comes when he decides he's ready to come, but that is the plan so far. So If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe. I post 2 videos a week on Tuesday, and then I do a flip through on Friday. If you have made it through this long, rambling, I don't even know video, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. Thanks for spending part of your day with me and watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.